Okay, welcome again to today's edition of our program, Legal Discussion. And as I said, today's topic is going to be a little bit controversial. And I know there are a lot of you there really thinking that we're going to talk about what's happening with the House of Representatives. We're not going to talk about that, okay? Those are grown people that should be making the right decisions. And that's the reason why we employ them in the first place, because they are our employees. And we expect them to make the right decisions. Fortunately, they have been fighting, of course, when you have children in places, people that you employ and you think they are supposed to behave like adults, start to, behave like children, and you have all of those things. Sometimes you get really disappointed to see that they are behaving like that, even though you have laws that you have put down for your house, you have rules and regulations, but yet and still they just don't want to listen. So sometimes you have to now decide and say, what measure am I going to take? Am I going to take the drastic measure? Am I going to penalize this person? What am I going to do? So, well, that is for you to decide. That is for you to think about. That is not for me to think about. But today I'm going to talk about this controversial thing that I want to talk about. It has to do with persistent non-support. But we're going to deal with the issue of a child today. Persistent non-support, but we're dealing with the issue of a child or children. And as we go along in this, I urge you to play your cash giveaway. And for those that are following us in Facebook land, Lawrence Thomas, he's following you. Okay, thank you for joining us today. Seku, welcome to our live video. And hi. So please share the live video, let it go wild as possible. So a lot of us, nowadays you see many children in the streets, even though some of them going to school, and then you wonder, but what's going on? Sometimes there's no parental care. Sometimes parental care is there, but you see the children all being mostly by themselves, and then you wonder, but what is going on? How is this going on? Is it like people really don't want children and they start to have children, and therefore the responsibility is so much for them, they are able to take care of the children? Or it's just people just being, too carefree and just keeping the children out there, endangering the children's life? They really don't, they don't care. They really don't see anything wrong with that. So today is what I'm going to be talking about. The photo? That's okay. You write the numbers here. So today, these are the things I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about persistent non-support as it relates to a child. The first thing, we know that this is a legal show. This is a legal discussion. So we're going to go to the law. What does the law say? The law says, the first thing when you go into the children's law, we have a whole law here concerning children. And this law is guided by the law we call the children's law. The children's law of Liberia, now of different country. We have the children's law. Before even the children's law, we have international laws that we have subscribed to safeguard children. The welfare of children is our responsibility. The state has a responsibility to every child as it relates to the safety, the security for the state, the security for the child. The state has responsibility to that. But let us look at parents, we that decide to go into sexual things to bring children into this world. Hey, Willie, what's up? To bring children into this world. We see that in Liberia, we play a lot when it comes to child upbringing or children upbringing. We play a lot. We just feel like, well, Duke, how are you? We just feel like, well, that my late child, I brought my child, they want you that my child. We are proud to say that my child. But how are we bringing up these children? Are we supporting them? What is the definition of support as it relates to children? What's the definition of support? The first thing to know is that our law is different from other people's law. Other countries have the laws. And no laws look at ages. They look at the age of the child and say, well, as per the law, this child, the fact that the person is from the day of birth up until 18, they consider that person as a child. When the person is 18-year-old, from the moment that person is 18-year-old, they consider that person now as an adult. It means that the person can make decisions for themselves. Okay, for themselves. Unlike in Liberia here, even though the age of maturity is 18, but our law does not require that the child be 18 and support themselves. Our law says 21. The law says you should support the child until the child is 21 years of age. And that is in our children's law. So the children's law consider any adult or any child below the age of 21 as a child, as it relates to support. It does not mean the person cannot vote. You can still be voting and your parents still have to be taking care of you. Okay? So yes, 21 is the legal age. So your child live with you, the children live with you. It's your responsibility to take care of them until they are 21 years old. So support the child until the child is 21 years old. And the next thing the court look at is the best interest of the child. Sometimes, you have parents that can fight. When the person get ready, no, I want a child to live with me. I want a child to live with me. They say, you know what, let's go to court. So the court look at the best interest of the child. Now who the child want to live with, but they look at the facility that's going to be given to the child based on support. So if you are not supporting your child, is it a crime? Yes. Our law says it's a misdemeanor. So it is, and now they have changed the gradings of, so once they have changed the grading, it might go all the way up. But it's a misdemeanor now because it is cognizable before a magisterial court. So it means a magisterial court have the right to go into matters concerning child support. So if a woman carry you to court and a woman says this person is not supporting the child, you find sometimes women will not support the child when the child is with the man. And let me make this clear, support is both ways. It does not mean that the child, because the child is with the man, so the woman can support the child. No. If the child lives with a man, the woman should be able to support the child as well. You have your part to play. If the child lives with the woman, the man should be able to support the child. You have your part to play. The court look at the best interest of the child. The court does not care whether the both of you were loving and you're born a child. They don't care. They don't look at the morality aspect of it. That is, you are immoral, the person is moral. No, they don't look at it. And this topic is more touching because you see a lot of the children out there that are abandoned. I'm not taking any statistic, but from the conversations I've had with people that have come to me as a lawyer to plead on their behalf concerning the child or the children, most of the children out there you see are married people, children. They want that they have all the well-lot. So either the man is with the woman, they both of them, they're together, they start having babies, and then he decides to go with another woman to get married. He abandons the child, and he doesn't care about the child. And sometimes, even if he's giving financial support, he does not give any other support. The child needs your moral support. The child needs to be psychologically strong. The child needs to be physically strong. The child needs the father's support in the life as well as the mother. But sometimes you hear them saying, but I'm supporting the child because they have married another woman or they are with another woman now. They really don't look at the best interest of the child any longer. So they don't want to be involved in the child's life. And that is wrong. The law says you have to support your child. Why a lot of the time we go to court, mostly you will find out that people go to court, they take the aspect of the financial. So they will go to court based on the financial aspect and be like, oh, the man is not supporting the child financially. More often, you won't hear people talk about the moral support, the psychological support that child needs. It's just financial, because the financial is the one that if it is not available, it's physical. So if it is not available, then we say, okay, there is a gap. It puts strain on another person. So sometimes we don't look at the fact that financial will be available, but the child still needs other support from the parents. So it is not for you to have your child, you first with a woman, then you inflict that vestation on the child. And therefore, you really don't care how the child is being reared. You don't care the raising of the child. You are not involved. But at the end of the day, you want to knock your chest and say, this is my child. When a child does something wrong, then you say, oh, that woman and how she raised her child, or that man and how he raised the boy. No, it is wrong. So if you are not supporting your child, there is something under the law called persistent non-support. That means you are not constant. Like some people that will tell you, say, I can give support, I can give financial support 1 month, after 2 months, I don't give support. I can give financial support this month, next month, I don't give financial support. If you are not constantly supporting the child, our law, the penal code, has a penalty for that. I will read the section 16.5, that has to do with persistent non-support. It says, a person commits a misdemeanor of the first degree if he persistently fails to provide support, which he can provide, and which he knows he is legally obliged to provide to a spouse, to a child, or to other dependents. So it doesn't just go for your biological child. And that's another thing I want for us to consider. It does not just go for your biological child. It goes towards any child that's within your domain that you are raising. Hi, Aloysius. Aloysius is watching from Congo Town. Hi, welcome. It goes towards any child that's within your domain that you are raising. So sometimes we leave from here, we go to interior areas, we take the child or the children from there, we bring them to town. We bring the child to town. As far as we're concerned, maybe you've brought the child to town. The next thing, you take the child or the children, you give to some of your relative. You brought that child to town. It is your responsibility to take care of that child. The next one has to do with adoption. We do adoption, we go and adopt people's children. When you finish adopting the child, the next thing, if the man and the woman adopted the child together, the man is no longer in the woman's life, he leaves. You cannot reverse adoption to say, oh, I will reverse it and carry the child back to the court and say, I don't want the child. No. Adoption is one thing that people should be very critical of. Think twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times before you get involved into adoption. Because when you adopt and you sign that paper and the court has gone through the procedures and given you that child as your child, you are fully responsible for that child until that child is 21 years of age. Hey, Randolph. Hi, from the Temple of Justice. Thank you for joining us, partner. So you see, so when you are not supporting that child persistently, that is constantly, every month, if you are supposed to remit certain money to the woman, give it to her every month. And I don't know whether people actually know that it's a huge responsibility to have a child. So when you are getting involved into all of your enjoyment, it goes both on the woman and the man. Because as a man, if you know that you don't want a child, protect yourself. Don't say I depend on the woman to protect herself. No, or the woman says she's protecting herself. Her protection is for herself. It's not for you. And as a woman, if you know you are not ready to have a child, you are not prepared financially, physically, morally, psychologically, you are not prepared to bring children into this world, don't go for it. Don't go for it. You see? So you have to be adequately prepared before you can bring a child into this world. You have to be prepared. So if you are not prepared and you bring a child into this world, the next thing you should know that you're going to start having problem with support issue, talk about it. If it's something between you, the man, the woman, you people want to have a child, that stage you can reach. You be like, oh baby, I really want born for my boyfriend, or I really want born for my husband. You talk about it. You who the man, if you know you're not ready, prevent yourself. If the woman is not ready, let her prevent herself. The woman shouldn't say, I depend on the man to prevent herself. The man shouldn't say, I depend on the woman to prevent herself. No. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to the law, you have to take responsibility for that. Let me give you one story. So, someone is hypothetical. Someone walked up to me and they said, well, my son, I have 4 children, but this boy, we are not married. All of a sudden, he took all of the things, his things from the house, and he said that he feels like he's caged. He feels like he's suffocating, so he wants to get a fresh air. So he moved back to his parents' place. And he doesn't want to, come back to live with us, and all of those things. So she came to me. So I asked her, what do you want? And she said, oh, I came, counselor, for you to please help me. So I said, okay, help you with what? She said, I came for you to please help me with money. So I said, okay, it is easy for me to help you with money, right? Today, I can say, okay, I got maybe $100, $50, $20, $30. If I have it, I can give it to you. But let's look at the long term. How are the kids benefiting from the father? Because the father and the mother is your responsibility. So I asked her, what are you doing? She said she's doing business. She's a petty trader. I asked her, what is your man doing? He owns keke. He owns keke, driving keke around. The keke for himself, yes. He bought the keke is for himself. So when was the last time he brought support for you and the children? Oh no, he can really bring support though. Sometimes when after like few months that he come, then he will bring $20. Sometimes he will just and buy one pack of and bring it for the children myself. Or the other one that I may have to do it. So right now the boy had to go to school. So I'm looking for school fees. So I asked her, I said, so right now, even if you get the school fees now and you pay the first installment or whatever it is, how are you going to pay the rest of the fees? And maybe I would just go ask my relative again to add it up. I said, so for your 4 children, that's what you're going to keep doing. You're going to keep going to relative, asking them to add money up, all because you don't want to pressure this man to take responsibility for his children, the children that he's so loving and so enjoying and brought into this world. He's not taking responsibility for the children. But you were telling me that you want me to give you money, and thereafter you will go to a cousin or a brother or other people and place your family responsibility on them. I said, you know what happened? She said, no. I said, I have a way I can help you. I said, under the law, your boyfriend is responsible for the children. I'm not talking about you, but he's responsible for the children. And so go and decide. I gave you 1 week. Go and decide. And come back to me whether you want to institute a suit against this man so that this man can be fully responsible for the child or the children. She said, okay, she's going to come back within a week. And I never saw her again. So a few months later, when she came to me first, she came to me with a friend. So I saw the friend. And I said, well, I've been wondering, how's your friend? Because I've not heard from her since she left. And then her friend said, well, counselor, it had to talk. I said, what's going on? Is it like she got into problems? Still caring now, because this has to do with children. Once you bring the issue of children, then you have touched me somewhere. And she said, oh, the girl say, when she takes the man to court, it means that it's going to put problem between she and the man, and the relationship will spoil. And she doesn't want to spoil the relationship with the man. So For that reason, she decided that she's not going to do it. I said, well, she should have just informed me that she doesn't want to do it. You know, it's not force. I was just looking at a way where the court can make this man to see after his responsibilities. That's all. And so I didn't see her again for I don't know how long. Lo and behold, one day I saw her and she was pregnant. Yeah, I asked her for the same guy. She said, yo, he came, he begged me. Has he moved back with you? No. So he hasn't moved back with her after 4 children. She's taking care of the 4 children. They are all kids. And he's not providing the support that he's supposed to provide for her and the children because according to her, he feels suffocated. Then you have another pregnancy. So it is for, she doesn't want the man to feel bad. She doesn't want he and her family to feel bad. So it's easy for her to put aside the children's welfare and put her own welfare, because that's the only thing I can say. I don't want to go too deep into, but it's, let me put my own welfare, my own enjoyment in front, and then I put the children welfare on the other side. That's how I saw it to be. So you have beautiful children, brilliant children, and they are not being supported. But the least a person can do is to support the child. No one should force anybody to support a child. Because to bring a child into this world, people say, oh, it's by mistake. The only time you can say this is by mistake, it had nothing to do with it. That is, God forbid, if a person was raped and got pregnant, then you say, oh, that was by what some other means. But enjoyment between 2 people, the children don't ask for it. They don't buy it. You can still enjoy yourself and be protected against having children. And sometimes when you family member, then they take the responsibility and put it on other family member, or you, the uncle, the cousin, the whatever. You stop pestering the people. Like she told me she was going to get the first installment for me, and then afterwards go after the other family member, as if to say that the family member responsibility. Did they say you there? Yes, we are supposed to help one another, but we are supposed to be responsible for our actions and inactions. So if you are going to take the man or the woman for child support or for persistent non-support, you're taking them to court. It does not mean you don't love them. No. It means that the person is not undertaking the responsibilities that they are supposed to undertake. And therefore, the best interest of who is at stake here, which is the child, has to come first. And because that has to come first, we're going to put aside our loving affair. We're going to put aside the love that we have for one another and deal with the issue that is on ground. And that issue is supporting this child. But if we start to put other issues that are not relevant in front, that is, the man love me, or I love the gay, so I can't do this, I can't do that. So you are sacrificing the child's health. You're sacrificing the child's life. You're sacrificing this child's a good upbringing. You're sacrificing everything moral, physical, financial about this child because of your desire. And it is wrong. It is wrong today. It's wrong tomorrow. And that's the reason why when some of us go to other countries, the same loose behavior we have here, I'm sorry to say, but that is loose. The same loose behavior we have here, we take it to other countries that have tougher laws, even though our own law is tough, but the implementation is something different. And the willingness, because sometimes you'll find out that the women or the men that are in this situation, they are not even willing to pursue the situation. Though the willingness is another thing. They're not looking at whose interest is at stake here. But if we go to other countries and we see that they are implementing these laws as they are on the book, then we start to get afraid now. And that's the reason why sometimes you see, even when you leave from here, you get some of your brothers or some of your sisters that go in other countries. They get caught up in the law, with the law, because they don't have that training from home. They just feel it's everywhere you go, you waste. Everywhere you go, you deposit. Everywhere you go, you receive. Everywhere you go, you oblige. And the reason why we have these conversations all the time surrounding the law is because these are legal issues. They may be personal things, but it's not just you that's involved. It is the child that's involved as well. So it is not your personal thing. Remember that the child belongs to the parents, the child belongs to the community, the child belongs to the state. And that's the reason why when a person commits a crime, that it is the state that penalizes that person. So in the home, when it's something that has to do with domestic and the child misbehaves in the home, it is the parent that penalizes the child. When they go to school and they misbehave, it is the community, it is the school that penalizes the child. So for every aspect of the child's life, or for every aspect of the person's life, there is someone there that should be guiding them. So why should you bring a child into this world, into this earth, into this country, and you try to shy away from your own responsibilities? Why should that happen? So as you bring in 5, just know that you have the responsibility to feed that 5, to send the 5 to school, to send them for proper medical treatment when they are ill. You have to keep your eyes open 24/7 to pay attention to them. If you know you are unable to do those things, don't bring the children. Don't bring them. Don't just go loosely and just be depositing everywhere and there is a place to deposit. No. We have a huge responsibility to the state. We have a huge responsibility to ourselves, to the children. It's a crime. If you are not supporting your child or your children, it is a crime. And today, it is my duty to come and enlighten the public, to enlighten you under my voice, for you to be able to share this with other people. People can go to jail because they are not supporting the children. And in Liberia, we take it lightly. In other countries, they don't take it lightly. They will not take it lightly. You take the child, it can even be your brother child, your sister child. Once you take responsibility of that child lives with you. The child should be able to benefit from everything a child should be able to benefit from until that child is 21 years of age. So for you to sit and say you will do it as per will, and I will do it, no, that's not how it is. So, it's a conversation. This is a conversation I want for us to have. It's a whole conversation I want for us to have. So let us open the line. Let us see out there. We don't know. Maybe I'm just sitting based on some of one or two, few cases that I have dealt with, and I'm like, okay, maybe the problem is from here. The problem is from here. But let us open it up. Let us see. Let us hear from you. What is the actual problem? What is going on? Why aren't people supporting the children? Why is it we have to reach the point of persistent no support or have to go to court before somebody can come out to do their own duty? Is it because of the love of the mother or the love of the father? Since the love of the father is no longer there, so we don't want to have anything to do with the person. This is 2 different entities we're talking about here. So the numbers to call are 0886 500 104. 0886 500 104, 0776 104 104, 0776 104 104. It is our duty and responsibility towards the children. The children need us. Hello, caller. Your name and where you calling from? Good afternoon, caller. Your name and where you calling from?
Counselor, I'm Sipo M. Sosa calling from our Shara resident.
Okay, Mr. Sosa, go ahead.
Thank you. This is my first time listening to you. Thank you for your clear explanation. And these are things that I've been observing over the period of time in Liberia.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to men. Most men in Liberia, shoulder their own responsibility when it comes to their children.
Hmm.
And the children are the future keeper of us, the parents.
Yes.
So we need not to run away from our responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
It is bound on us to do. If you don't want to do it, let just as you are saying, if you don't want to do it and you have to have children, you just need to keep away from what will give you children on earth.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay.
Don't bring people children up, don't bring children to the earth that to bring ability to other people. Thank you for your clear explanation.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We have another caller on the line. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
My name is Stephen Wilson, calling from Toronto County.
Okay, Mr. Wesing, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to know that because I hear a conversation on the radio.
Okay, my name is Councillor KEBEH Saryon.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Wesing.
We know the track.
You myself from Grand Cape County the same way.
Don't say you love him.
Eh?
Don't say you love him.
We are talking about child support here. Do you have a child that you're supporting?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so how often do you support your child?
Every month.
Every month you can support your child?
Yes.
Do you go to see the child?
You say?
Do you go to see the child?
Yes, I say money.
You only send money, you don't go there to see the child?
Yes, yes.
No, but that's not right. You should be able to go to see the child, take care of the child, play with the child. Then you support the child financially, okay?
I can take you.
All right, bye. Okay. So again, the numbers to call are 0776 104 104, 0886 500 104, 0776 104 104, 0886 500 104. So somebody asks, they ask a question here. Say, do we have a caller? Caller, your name and where you calling from? Okay, my Elizabeth, go ahead. Okay.
I got a children by a car for kids. From 2017 up to now. They gotta know how the children eat, how they live, how they work, how they go to school. And if I take it to court, if I go to women and children, you look at big, they will not see. People will go behind, they will look for him, you know. In our country, that we all know, poor man lawyer to say, see, you're not getting, I will do this for you free. So now I will hustle and get something and say, let me get you to court. When I go to the court, people will be searching for you all over. Anytime I go that money, and then when my hand go down, it's free.
Wow.
Until I started selling so much more market, because he said something concerning my children's salary. I decided for the children to help me because they need to go to school. They need to get close to where they need to eat.
Yeah.
They not eat away from me. But when each time the children go sell for people, invest the children, take the market. So now we will be at the market. I will not see at the end of the day the market break down.
Wow.
How the children will eat, I have no pain. This guy, I can see him. This guy is someone, even 5 years, he lay out on the children, he care. He don't care me. He don't even call. Then from there, over to the next day, to even call and say happy. But let's say happy new year to my children, you do it. Every time before, because I see my friends' children going to school, I can sit and put my hand between my legs and see my children not going to school. I will struggle so not clearly just to make sure my children go to school. 4, not even 1. These days, so now when who are they? Tell me, okay, there's somebody. You register the children, I will pay the money. At the end, I pay the money. The disgrace will come on me. Now, as I'm talking, I even go to family member to lay a company, people will be talking to him, he will not even get ear to ear.
You say you went to women and children, but have you gone to the court itself?
I went to the court because I saw him different. 2 different times, man. The people look at me, they didn't find him. Yeah, they appear. And because that money, I said, anytime you go, the police pay the people where I will put on motor back every year, they're looking for it, and they will not find something within your like yourself. I will not see I can post it, the door to enter on me.
Wow.
I will come back. So the neighbor is, they go since them again, the school coming up here, going and say, this school open again, and I'm not doing nothing, and I see. I beg you, I want for you to help me. Then I get problem with the feeling, need a feeling with me. All I care about is the children's schooling. He said, when I get money, so I beg you, send the play where anybody credit, they put them on credit money for them, and I will pay them money. But when I credit somebody, I pay $100 US. So very sort of children, $100 US, buy them school things, buy their books, register and pay school fees, no. But I knew that was the starting point. And when I took the money, I registered the children. Children started going to school. And when you take the money, every month, it's for interest. From September up to the month that I'm sending you, I was able to pay the money and the interest I had. So I went to his working place. He worked at NTA. Because going, he can pick my call now. Even the children call, he can pick on the children call. So I don't know what I say, but I have to go to his working place. Because he always said, he pay me. Before I do his coming to the work, then I run to the gate to tell the security, then I can just allow him. But my God, being God, they put that man on this money, but now in a situation to him. Anybody is out. I went there. So bad. Last week, from my next family because they very much. As I'm talking to you, no. They didn't put it outside the night school because the money I expired. And how to get in their money to pay, but how to pay the money the children going in school. Like it's coming out expensive.
Wow.
When
Okay.
I went to a working place, the people called me, he said, the person when I asked me, but he just to pay. Why not get more money? He said, you owe people so money.
But that's the reason why I asked whether you had a court involved, because when you get the court network fail, when you get the court involved concerning what you were explaining, it's not just about where he lives. The court will ask you where he works, because if you cannot get the man from where he lives, the working place is somewhere that he has to go almost every day. And if he's not at work where he went, and more often you will get the information as to where he went. Most of the working places will not refuse the court precepts. Once the court send paper and they say the paper is for XYZ person, they will tell you, say, okay, the person is to so and so department, or they are at so and so office. So like that, then you better understand. Then I mean, the court can better take, because that's one of the reasons why they make this a criminal offense, so that the court can be able to, if the person is evading the court precept, then they can be able to arrest the person. You see, more often they will send you citation to come to the court. But if you start to refuse the citation, you kind of bypassing the law, then they will send rid of arrest for you. You see, we have another caller on the line. Okay, so let's go to our Facebook social media page.
Hello?
Yeah, hello. Your name, caller. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the community. My name is Lovina Masari.
Okay, Lovina, make a point.
Yeah, I want to find out something from you.
Okay.
I have a child. I want to put it in April and Kanye. At that time, I ain't got together. He was not working. So he was not having money to take care of the child. But right now, he left the child with me and he's working in for me. They're making $520 every month. Each time I call him to ask him for some food, he said I don't have money. I should not call him no more again.
So what you can do, they have courts in Bomi, Mama. So you can go to the court. If he doesn't want to be a responsible father to take care of his children all by themselves, then you go to the court. The court will institute or suit against him, and then they can take it from there. But if the person is not coming forth to support the child, it does not mean the child has to be on you alone. You can go to the court and let the court know that this person, I have made every effort for them to support the child. They don't want to do it. They have some of the issues that women and children can handle. But sometimes some of these people, when you send them to women and children, they start to evade. They will be doing all sorts of things and disrespecting the people as well. So sometimes it's good to just take them to court, that the court, arrest them and bring them under the jurisdiction of the court. Call out your name and where you calling from. Hello.
Yeah, my name is Cyrus. I'm calling from KC Community.
Yes, Cyrus, make a point.
Yes, I just wanted to know that because since my father gave I was 10 to 11 with my mother. My mother, she's single. No one to help me, no uncle, no one. She's my mom. You don't have it. Working too much of it. The reason my mom taking for you, okay, say, carry kids, nothing other than 9 to. So I don't know what I get ready to do. Like, soon I'm more of a son. What is ready to do when you start taking care of me?
Okay, so let me get this right. You have a child?
No, I don't have a child.
Okay, so whose child are we talking about?
I'm talking about myself. I'm taking care of me.
How old are you?
19 years old.
Okay, then you have to go to the nearest court that you have or the court that has jurisdiction over your father. Where does your father live?
He lives Charleston.
Charlestown?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, then you go to the Monrovia Civic Court and explain it to the people, carry your birth certificate and say, well, this is my father. He doesn't want to support me. I've tried every means. He doesn't want to support me. And therefore, the court will issue rates for him. Yeah?
All right, thank you.
Okay. Okay, we have another call on the now. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
Okay, my name is Joseph Jonathan. I call you from Catboro, New Jersey.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I'd like to use this medium to say a big thank you to you for, the level of education this afternoon. I'm a parent, and since I've been in Liberia, I just got to realize that our kids are to stay with us, and it is our responsibility to take care of them until they reach the age 21.
Yes.
I've been hearing and read about the age 18, but I just got that other information today. So when you talk about support, where you're talking about, moral support, psychological support, I want to know if there are specific laws governing to penalize someone when they fail to support the child both morally and psychologically as well.
Well, normally what they can do, the law will look at financial because the law expects that you brought this child into the world. So you should be in a better position for somebody to tell you, well, you need to support your child morally. And sometimes, I don't know how people see it, but sometimes the moral support of the child is not really hard. Taking the child out as often as possible, playing with them, creating a bond between the both of you, talking to them to see whether they have some issues, whether they have issues that are disturbing them and all those things. Those are all moral supports.
Yeah, I got it. It's necessary to as well to the connection, the freedom of expression, everything.
Yes.
The relationship between the parents and the kids is part of it.
Okay.
So thank you so much.
You're welcome. So, do we have a caller on the line? Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Yes. Good morning. This is Aliyu Masali. I'm calling you from Maryland, birthday.
Okay, Mr. Masale, welcome to the conversation.
Thank you. Oh, yes. I want to ask a question on this child support issue. Yes. Now you have a child by a lady, and then this child was at the age of 3 months, and the mother left this child with you at the age of 3 months, and you took this child. This child stayed with you, the father, at the age of 3 years, and the mother decided to take it to court because she left the child with you and you can't allow her to get access to the child. And you people went to court. And the court said, oh yes, he was still married to the lady and you people had this child. So according to the law, the child belongs to the mother. The only way you can have access to the child, you have to victimize the child through the court. And you people went through that case and later on they said you are not ready yet to legitimize the child. We are going to go a restraint order between you and this child that you cannot go to the mother house. Anywhere this child is, you can't go there. And they put that restraint order between you and the child, and the mother agreed. They asked her, do you agree for us to put restraint order between the child and the father? And she said yes. And the court did. And you, the father, you signed the document. Okay, no problem. And you left, but yet then you are working. At the end of the month, sometimes you send $100 to this mother for the child. And the mother said, no, You can be working, you making $500, and you sending me $100 for this child, and you have up to 3 to 4 children, and now this child mother is demanding you the $500 you are making. You should share it 250, and she wouldn't have one child, and this other lady has 6 children for you, and whenever you send her the $100, she refuses, and then she posts up to the child not to come to you, and she said, in fact, you don't have access to this one. So in such a thing, what can you do as a father?
Okay. So the first thing I would say in cases like this, the first thing as a father, you should get a lawyer and explain your case to the lawyer so the lawyer can better advise you. However, whoever explained to you that the mother has first right to the child because, of course, the child is not yet legitimized is true. Our law says when you have children with a woman and you are the husband, it is presumed that the child is yours. Even if the child is not yours, any other person who's claiming that child will have to go to court and do DNA and prove to the court, to the whole world, that that child is theirs against the husband's interest. But other than that, it means that the child is for the husband. Now, when you hear our common slogan, what they can say, marry woman can born bastard child. That's the reason. So the husband will have the right to claim that child. But if you and a woman, you guys are not married, and the woman comes or the woman say the child is for this man, or the woman left the child with you, all you had to do is to legitimize the child. Once you legitimize the child, it gives you equal right as the mother over that child. But if you don't legitimize the child, the mother can come anytime and say, yeah, that's my child, I want to carry my child. And even if she comes and say, no, the child not for you again, for another person. Yeah, or you would say now, well, she misled you from the beginning and you need your money back, and other things like other people would do. But other than that, there is nothing much at that point that you can do. So yes, it's good to legitimize the child, because in the legitimation of the child, they will ask the mother for her consent. Say you consent to this child being legitimized, and this is that you say yes. And as it relates to the figures, it's not only the woman that can go to court. If the woman is being unreasonable as to how much you give her, given the fact that this is your earning, your people, your HR can attest that this is your earning, you say you have to survive. So the law does not say because you have, the law will look at the fact that you have other children as well. And they will distribute it based on the other children and your own welfare that you have. So there's nothing that should say, okay, because the woman said this, she and the man have the other one. No, even the court that's dealing with that, if the court goes ahead, the magisterial court goes ahead and give that kind of ruling, you have the right to take an appeal that, no, I don't have this money. If I have, the more I get in the future, the more I can add. But right now, I don't have it. What I have is what we're all supposed to be able to eat from. So $500 amongst my 4 children and myself, my home, we should be able to distribute that. Then the third aspect of that, it just shows that we need to be ready before we can start having children. There has to be something like, yeah, you and a woman get married, you decide and say, well, let us have children. It's children are not for children. That's the thing. It's not about you just having child or you having children. You call that person your baby mom. You call that person your baby mom. Like somebody said to me before, they said, oh, the reason why they're having children all over the place is because everywhere they go, they let them leave a mark there. Okay, then you leave your responsibility there as well. So thank you so much for calling. Yeah. Okay. Hello, caller. You have 1 minute. Your name and where you calling from?
Hello?
Hello, caller. You have 1 minute. Let's make it snappy. Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Alex Dawson calling from Bama.
Yeah, Ade.
Yes. Alex, okay. It all regards from me. What sort of responsibility? That is parents, if I parents are coming all the responsibility more than what people in the are coming up. I got one. I'm so father one. Just going now and say this that is a crowd of period. Sort of responsibility. On the star, on the star, and on the seventeen, there's no responsibility as because it's that only my one. Everything about him is take that. Now he's telling me that he wants to start to stay with me. I said, no, I'm there. I'm going to put off, then to put the one, and no, I'm there on.
Okay. So the fact is, even if you don't have idea of going to the court or being to court, you can just walk to the court or any magisterial court and say, this is the situation, I want advice, or send me to the city solicitor's office, this is the problem that I have. Of course they will be there to give you advice. Or you go to women and children, go to the police station and ask for the women and children section. When you go to the women and children section, they will give you advice. You go to Ministry of Gender, God, Children section, they will give you advice concerning what's to do. And I think the Ministry of Health, they got children section as well. So they have made everything so plain for us, make it so plenty for us, so that we can't give excuses to say, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Of course, you know what to do. The law will even look at the fact that that man is available to feed himself. The man able to eat. So if you can find food for your own mouth, for the child that you brought in this earth, you can find food for the child. No, that's not what the law says. The law says the same way you can eat, you can find food for your own mouth. The children that you bring in, you should know that you should be able to find food for them before you can bring them to this earth. Other than that, do it the protected way. Enjoy yourself the protected way. Don't put yourself in a situation you can't handle. That's the where I will end our topic for the day. Do not put yourself into situations that you can't handle. So thank you so much, Indo, to those in Radio Land. We have had a good time to having this discussion. Hopefully, we can have this discussion another time. Since we only have 1 hour, we can have this discussion another time. The program is Legal Discussion with Councillor KEBEH Saryon. This is Freedom FM. Thank you and have a blessed day.